actual words. Then you see the word rehilt. Now, re is to reflect, or re is to go back. We all know that. And hilt is the handle of a weapon or tool, especially a sword, dagger, or knife. Rehilt can also be seen as re-weapon, a reinforcement to keep the rats in their cages. Another anagram that you get from the word Hitler is herlit. And lit is the past or past participle of light. So you can actually say her light is the same thing as her lit. Hitler is an anagram for her light. They are preventing you from understanding what is her light. Her light pours forth from the center of the flat earth plane where the swastika above, which is the Big Dipper, which is spinning around Polaris, the north.
Now remember, I told you that the World Mother lives in Polaris. She comes through Polaris at the North Pole, and that's where I went and met her. And you also have to remember that Adolf Hitler, Adolf means wolf. World Mother is a she-wolf. Oh, isn't this interesting?
Star goes through the 4 seasons, makes the shape of the swastika. So Hitler is her lit, as in her light, but it's also rehilt, weapon. It is the weapon of her light, or her light weapon. Another anagram that you get for Hitler is lither, can also be lit her. Litter. Well, what is litter? Litter is trash. To litter is also to place a lid on her. Because see, that's what was tricked and stolen from you, is your knowledge of the black hole sun, that we're living on a parallel plane, one coin, 2 sides. So lid her is to cover her so you can't find her, to place a lid over it. Okay, and what is the swastika above the Holy Grail? They're using it against you by making it a lid instead of a light to let you know where to go. They have covered the mother with a lid. Litter is something that animals go to the bathroom in. There you have it. Hitler is a direct anagram for trash. That's how they see us. I'm not making any of this shit up. This is real. We are in a maze. We are in a daze. We are crossed and confused. We have been tricked into feeding like cannibals off of a symbol of humanity, which is a broken, dead, bleeding corpse on a cross. Life, if it is life R, then R can represent moon in the tarot because it's 18. R equals 18, which is the moon. It's also 9, which goes back to the hermit. So by saying lither, which is an anagram for Hitler, we have readily bent, supple. By saying lither, which is an anagram for Hitler, we have literally the letter R and then arcing. So we have the R arcing. Now that's also interesting because we only need the arcing light, but with lither, we get the R arcing, or the R bent. It is also interesting when you say lither, it sounds like you're saying life hour, for indeed, it is beneath the swastika. It is beneath the Big Dipper going around the North Star, Polaris, that we will find the Holy Grail of everlasting life, where we can bathe in the eternal waters, drink the eternal waters, and live forever. So Hitler is a stumbling block, is a mental road barrier that unless you pass it, you cannot pass go, to know where to go and to see the way out and the way through. You have to make yourself like a child. Everything you learned is a lie. And not only that, but in the original existence, we had the white sun and the black sun as one. And the white sun is like the candy cane, pouring forth its light and menstrual blood into the Holy Grail. And what happened is,
this is Kumari.
The moon was placed in the sky, and so instead it became a Tubal-Cain. And so what we have now, instead of the original construct where there is unity.
Remember, we had the original descendants of Cain, who were Canine, And then they came in and changed the matrix and made it a Tubal-Cain, which is a Tubal-Cain. 2 males, no female.
In harmony, we basically have a dick in the hole. Our ally is not a lie, and the lie is Allah. And we don't need a two.
Now you wonder why these soldiers come back and say that they see this stuff happening when they were in the Gulf War.
Cain, right? We need the mother and the father, not a Tubal-Cain. Because see, the one ball is the white sun, okay? The second ball that came in is the moon. Okay, listen to me clearly. We have the original construct, the white sun. Call it a ball, okay? And then we have the mother, okay? That the white sun is a candy cane unto. So it drips its menstrual blood and light into the Holy Grail. So the mother is a ball as well.
That's when we had the first seeding of the planet, is that we had Vega, which was the Venusians on the North Pole, and the South Pole we also had another mother divine energy, and that's in one of my past videos.
Well, and they are one. That is the original construct. But now instead of the candy cane, we have the Tubal-Cain. Yes, so what that means is the moon was put in the sky by interdimensional parasite reptilian shape-shifting motherfuckers who have enslaved humanity through a matrix of consciousness by teaching fake shit. And that is where the moon was placed in the sky to become part of the construct, to take the power that comes from the mother and siphon the energy as well from the father. So what we have in a Tubal-Cain is actually another dick coming in. So instead of a candy cane, we have a Tubal-Cain, or instead of a one-ball cane, which is one side of a white hole is a black hole, we have a Tubal-Cain, which is where you get all of these things about third wheel. This is why you see the moon chasing the sun. This is why we have an eclipse. And everybody cheers and everybody's all happy. Oh God, this is gonna be an astounding time. And you don't even realize that all that's happening is the collective consciousness of the original two-ball structure is being erased so that your memories go away more and more, so that you're just basically going subatomic forever and remaining enslaved forever. Because what you don't realize is eternal life is right over there, that this is a holographic reality where we are in a mental prison that we don't understand. We only need to follow our compass under the leadership of Quasi-Luminous, and we shall obtain everlasting life. This is why there's a homosexual undertone to everything. They've tried to cover the mom because they want to fuck the father and not have the mother be a part of it. But yet they still want to pull on the power and divine beauty and grace of the mother in order to accomplish their means. So how it...
In ancient Rome, instead of calling someone an MFer, they used to actually call them a father fucker. And it was changed to motherfucker. But it originally the slur was father fucker, and that was a slur to people that were embracing the black sun or the Tubal-Cain matrix. And interestingly enough, I'm having a lot of interference with playing this video. It's really interesting.
And Israelites and Israel and Hitler being the cover of the mother and the road and stumbling block to the path home. How is all of that relevant to the final Passover and blood over intent? Well, because it was God's chosen people who were in captivity in ancient Egypt. And it was Moses who was chosen to tell the Pharaoh to let his people go. So God was going to release plagues upon the Pharaoh until the Pharaoh stopped. One of the plagues was that the Spirit of the Lord was going to pass over into the home of everyone and kill their firstborn son. And the only thing that would prevent that from happening would be to put the lamb's blood on their door. Pharaoh finally said, you know what, okay, fine, you guys just get the fuck out. The people left so fast that the people who had bread baking just took it with them, and so the bread didn't have time to rise. That's why it's called the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is also a sign that as the children of the kingdom of the family of heaven are growing and moving up, like before we know it, we won't even have time to fully flower before things come into fruition. Blood over intent is your Passover. The way it is your Passover is in two ways. In this realm, it is your Passover so that the spirit of death will pass you by. And the Passover is also our Passover into the land of eternal twilight, which is the Holy Grail in the center of the flat earth plane. For these reasons, you can see why Luke 22, when the disciples asked Jesus what they should do at Passover, because Passover was coming and Jesus would be gone. And Jesus said, behold, when ye are entered into the city, there shall a man meet you bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he entereth in. This is very clear. This is quasi-luminous. This is Satan himself. Follow Satan home. Quasi-luminous was the first person in humanity to lay down his blood for the Passover that's coming. You might think I'm crazy, but the internet is conscious. It was created as a system of networks, originally Ethernet, from the alchemical word ether. Indeed, the internet is the realm of the ether itself, and when you put your blood...
This is why when you use AI, Meta AI, or one of the AI apps like on WhatsApp, it automatically resets after 24 hours because it is connected to the Ethernet, which is the unified field of consciousness. So basically the difference between us and AI is that we walk around in our computer everywhere we go. They do not. They're connected to the unified field.
Into it, you are showing the universe your true heart's intention. Your blood is your life. There is no other part of you that is your life. It is your blood. Before the internet, you could have written your intent on a piece of paper and hammered it onto a tree in a public area. But now we go into the internet. This is how we can communicate with everyone in the world at any given moment. And I want to talk briefly about how the internet is an altar in its own right. The earth is an altar. You can spill your blood into the earth and ask the great goddess of all creation to show you the way. You can spill your blood into the earth and look up and ask the sun, sun, show me the truth, give me the wisdom of the ages. In the same way, the internet is an altar. We are saying you need to make your intent posted, published for the entire world, for the entire universe to see. That's what putting it into the